take a look at them. So just know that these meetings are being recorded too. Not that anyone might look at them, but it's out there. It's a resource for everyone if they so choose to look at it. So welcome. This is the second President's Council meeting for WUM Circle K. Here's my Dilbert I enjoyed. It's timely because it's summer vacation, and I hope you all are having a great one. Sounds like everyone is. So, like I said, again, these sessions are being recorded, so yay. Let's go around and just talk about how the end of the year went for you with Circle K. So what are some things that went well? What didn't go well? What might you change up for next year? It's really up to you for what you want to talk about. So for myself personally and UW Platteville, we had a really awesome end of the year bonfire. Would totally recommend to end of the year with some sort of social event like that. And we also did St. Baldrick's Brave the Shave a couple weeks before the end of the semester, which is really a cool event, and that money goes to St. Baldrick's Foundation. If you're not familiar with them, they do funding for research on childhood cancer, and one of their events is called Brave the Shave. So you create this page, it's like a GoFundMe page, and you ask your family members for donations to shave your head. And you have no idea how sadistic your family members are in getting you to shave your head until you see how much money they throw at it. So UW Platteville was able to raise $1,258 from 5 of our members, and we had a really good end of the year event. So our heads are still very cold, and summer has been very cold too, which is abnormal. But that's how ours went. Jess, do you have anything to add for UW Platteville's end of year? No? Okay. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and popcorn to Claudia. How did MSOE end the year?
So after our main volunteering event, we had a social event at the end of the year. So our last week, everybody got together, and it was kind of a goodbye to the end of the school year. We had cookies before finals. So that was more of like a social event. And I know a few members came and they were like, oh, yay, we get the cookies again. It's the end of the year social. So I know that was like a big hit. So we do that every quarter, and everybody seems to look forward to that. So we kind of ended on a good note, and we ended also with a executive board meeting. So we kind of laid out our goals and our plans for the next school year as well.
Awesome. Yeah, that's definitely a good way to end the year. And I'd also recommend, we're going to get into this later, but also having a meeting over the summer just to recap your goals for the upcoming year. Yeah, I think that's really awesome. Do you want to popcorn to someone else?
Yeah, I can popcorn to Miriam.
So St. Norbert does at the end of their year, we have a scholarship night meeting with our Kiwanis, with our De Pere Kiwanis. So that's kind of like our last social event because they give us dinner and they also give scholarships, which is really cool.
Awesome.
And that was like our biggest attended social event. So we had maybe, I'd say 75% of our members were there, which was really cool. It was a really big showing for them, and it was really exciting for the Kiwanis to have us all at their meetings too.
Is that like a scholarship for Key Club or for Circle K?
They have a separate Key Club night. So those, the De Pere Kiwanis gives out a scholarship to the president and to the person with the most service hours.
Oh, that's an awesome way to
It's a really cool thing that they do, and I think we're going to try to promote that a lot more at our involvement fair, like our recruitment events, by saying like, hey, if you do a lot of really cool service, you could also get a scholarship while doing really cool service.
Definitely.
That's kind of a talking point that we're trying to think about. And then we just had an e-board meeting at the end to talk about our goals and everything. And we have another one that's going to be scheduled for either this Saturday or next Saturday. We're still working on the details, but
awesome.
Reiterate all of that.
That's great. Yeah, executive board meetings are awesome. I've grown to appreciate meetings a lot. So, do you want popcorn to someone else?
Sure, Michaela.
So for Oshkosh, we went to one of our advisors' house for a grill out, and it was actually really nice outside, so we got to play some yard games. So that was kind of our end of the year social. And then we also, Kiwanis also gives out 2 scholarships to members of our club. So we also like had a program for them and handed out those scholarships. I will say I do notice like towards the end of the year, like the number of members that come to our meetings starts to dwindle a little bit. And I think that's just with finals and everyone gets really busy towards the end of the semester. So I think that's something I want to like work on for the next coming years, is just keeping that membership up around finals week and when things get busy. So yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely difficult to do. But I know, I mean, I don't have too many suggestions right now. I'll think about that and get back to you as well if we have any suggestions.
Okay.
Cool. And then the last person is Al, it looks like. Al, how the end of the year will go for you?
I think the end of the year for us went really, really well. I had our last board meeting on the 9th of April, and then we had our JDRF gala that we volunteered at, and then we had a social for all of the seniors who graduated, and our president from last year, Quinn, got a scholarship from our Kiwanis Club, and we all went out to dinner at Ian's and then to the comedy club. It was really fun.
That's awesome. Was that the meeting that just went to?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I've never had Ian's Pizza before, but I've heard it is the bomb.
Yeah, it is really good.
That's awesome. Cool. So keep those things in mind for the upcoming year as well. So when you're thinking about closing out next year, right, you might not be the one doing the end of year activities, but your next president will be, and you can give them tips and pointers with what went well this year and what you can do even better next year. Some other ideas that we've done in the past too is we had a table flip event. So it's kind of like a stress relief CPR sort of event. CPR is just our campus programming and relations. So last year we literally had a table full of books, and we had people sign a waiver saying they wouldn't sue us if the table hit them in the head, but they would flip the table full of books and they would go everywhere, and it was a lot of fun to both do and watch. So some fun stuff to think of for next year. Other things to be thinking about. So I heard that we also had some end of the year meetings, and it's good to have these meetings to talk about the start of next year. So one goal we have for every club is to schedule at least one meeting with your executive board over the summer. And what you should be doing at this executive board meeting is planning for your organization fair and then for your first 1 or 2 meetings, and try to make them as thrilling and as enjoyable as you can. With the organization fairs, there's a ton of things that you can do, and I kind of want to go around and just see what unique ideas you all have for your org fairs that make them unique, as well as what we might be able to do differently. So one thing I'm going to say is that if you come to MERP this year, which I'll be talking about later, MERP is our membership, education, and recruitment program. You can get a recruitment box filled with a ton of toys like stickers, bubbles. We're doing cowbells. We're doing a blow-up Bessie the Cow, trifolds. I'm missing something here. What am I missing? Jess, do you know? Okay. It's a ton of stuff that you can use and hand out at your recruitment fairs. Oh, mason jars. That's what I'm thinking of. Mason jars for candy. To help bring in members and make your table a little bit more unique. So I won't make us all go around here, but does anyone have something they'd like to share that they do at their org fair table that's been really successful?
I can go first.
Sure.
So last year we did a counting the bean game inside of a jar, okay. And then whoever was the closest at our meeting got a Starbucks coffee gift card. And then we gave out packets of ramen with our first meeting date and location on it. And then we used the pamphlets from MERP and we handed those out like crazy. And then we also did like buttons and stickers. And I think we're going to have a social before the fall org fair to make personalized buttons and then put those out on the table. And then we had a trifold poster board that we had like worked on a little bit, so it wasn't as good as it could have been. So we're gonna try to update the photos and kind of promote like how this organization is kind of political. We've got a government and districts, and so like hopefully that brings in some poli-sci majors, and then just really try to recruit people who want to do service.
That's awesome. I love those ideas. There's a lot of them too.
Yeah.
Does anyone
I
else?
kind of just did them all.
That's really exciting. Does anyone else have anything they want to share? Well, one thing I'll share for my home club is that we are doing this Wheel of Fortune. One of our members literally put together a giant wooden wheel with a bunch of different colors. So you spin the wheel, and based on where the spinner lands, you could either get like free hugs, candy. We haven't really decided what each one will be yet, but it's going to be a fun attraction because it's a giant wheel, like it's a massive wheel. And that will be right alongside our trifold and our candy and our bubbles and all the other fun stuff that we're going to have there as well. So, some more fun ideas that you can have. So, and one thing I should add too, make sure that you have a sign-up sheet or some way to get in communication with those people. Sometimes that's forgotten about, but that's really important too. Something else to add is once you're done with that org fair, typically what follows is your first meeting, right? So there's this acronym, THIS. Don't rearrange the letters, just leave it as this. It stands for Time, Hospitality, Icebreakers, and Service. These are the 4 type of ideas that me and Jess came up with for ways to improve your first meeting. So the first one is time. Make sure that you're mindful of your members' time and make it worthwhile. So you can spit all the information at them and not have anything in it. You could be in and out in 10 minutes, but that wouldn't be any fun, and I personally would find it hard to come back. So be mindful of your people's time. Make sure that it's not too short, but not too long, where you're just talking and drawing on the meeting. H is for hospitality. So Zoe was here last time, and I got yelled at for this, but the good analogy I had for this was, imagine that you're your mom and dad and you're hosting wine night. And think about all the things that you would do there. You'd be providing snacks, beverages, have some music playing in the background, make sure everyone's welcomed and gets to know each other. Keep in mind the hospitality aspect of your first meeting. You want to make it as comfortable and welcoming to as many people as possible. And the way to do that is through icebreakers. So having some fun and active icebreakers. I know there's a love-hate relationship with icebreakers. I personally love them and think they're a good way to get up and active and talking with new people. Incorporate 1 or 2 of those in your meeting, as well as some service, because we are a service organization. You can do cute little fun things like either plarning, which is where you take plastic bags and cut them up and tie them into a giant ball, and then send that ball off to be made into mats, and things for homeless people. You could do Color Smile. You could do you could make socks with little rubber soles for hospitals. There's a lot of fun little service projects you could do. If you want to be adventurous, you could go outside of your meeting and do something, but also try to incorporate some sort of service aspect as well. One thing that I loved about our first meeting last year is we brought in dilly bars, and everyone got a dilly bar when they came into our meeting. So that was our food, and I really enjoyed that. Did you all have something fun at your first meeting that worked out?
Pizza.
Pizza. Holy cow, you all are loaded if you can afford pizza. I love it.
Yeah, we have pizza too. We get Little Caesars, so it's pretty inexpensive. But
Dang. Jess, we should get pizza next year. Awesome. Yeah, pizzas. We'll steal that idea from y'all. Just start these discussions at your first meeting that you'll be having over the summer with your executive board, and take these 4 things into account. So
I also did pizza, and I really wish your acronym was shit and not this.
low key, that was the original intent. Then I was like, wait, we can rearrange
I
it.
was on mute, but as soon as you said that, I laughed so hard.
It's Circle K appropriate here. But you can see this slide and more at VERP 2019, where we learned that membership is out of this world, and we blast off into world of service. So Kylie Smith from UW-Madison has been working really hard at getting this organized. If you haven't heard about it yet, it's our membership education and recruitment program happening July 27th from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. So unlike our other district events, keeping in mind that this is summer, it's only 1 day long, and it's shorter too, so we can fit in your time frame. It's going to be at the Waukesha State Bank. They have a community room there, so we'll have a projector up. We'll be going through our workshops on there. We'll also be getting lunch. Right now it's sounding like either Jimmy John's or Chipotle, wait, Qdoba, something like that. So really good food. Why you should go: A, lunch is going to be provided as part of it. B, those fall recruitment kits. Well, yeah, fall recruitment kits with all the stickers and the cowbells and the cows and the buttons and the whatever else. It's in the email that I sent out to y'all. That's going to be a part of it as well. So that's going to be worth way more than you are going to be paying for the event. We're actually dipping in the reserves in order to be buying these supplies. So you get that as well. And then talking about fall recruitment methods. So please, 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 if you are interested, let us know as soon as possible. You can register on our website through this link right here. It's just a simple, this link right here, the online registration form. It's just a couple quick questions: your email address, where you're from, what position do you hold, do you have any dietary restrictions, and it's $15. So how will you be paying? So you can either pay by mail, by Venmo, or on site. And that's right, we have a Venmo because we're cool and hip now. It's at WUM-CKI. So if you simply do MERP 2019 registration for Jessica Wells to at WUM-CKI, you can now do payments online. You don't have to mail in a check. Yeah, schedule of events, we can quickly run through that. So registration and a service project will run for about an hour in the morning, followed by an introduction and icebreaker. We'll be doing a presentation on the do's and don'ts of the org fair, as well as setting up an example table. And then we get to jump into a mock organization fair. So you'll literally be creating your own table and running through the organization fair as if it's the real thing, and you'll be judged for it. So we'll be going around and attending your org fair, and you get to sell Circle K to us, which will be super fun and entertaining. We haven't done it this way before, so it's a way to practice for the actual org fair. After that, we'll have lunch, again, Jimmy John's, Chipotle, Qdoba, something like that. And we'll end off the day with 2 short workshops, one on your first meeting, and then one on retention. So Kylie will be talking about the membership initiative this year, which is member of the meeting. And a couple more items here. We'll be doing recruiting future members. And then those recruitment kits that we were talking about, we'll have you put them together and talk about them for a little bit. And we should be done by about 4 o'clock or 4:15. So that is MERP in a nutshell. Does anyone have any questions about MERP and what we're doing?
I just want to add that anybody from your club is welcome to join. So if you can attend, I highly encourage at least sending some kind of representative from your club. Even if they are a general member, they don't have to be on the executive board. Everybody's welcome.
Definitely. Do any of you know if you'll be able to attend MERP this year? Or if any of your club members will be able to attend MERP?
I'll be at MERP, and so will Zoe, Maddie, Caitlin, Kylie, and then I think Joey will also be there.
Dang. Awesome.
Most likely I will just have to make sure with scheduling, but most likely yes.
Awesome.
As far as I know, sorry.
No, go ahead.
As far as I know, no one from St. Norbert is able to be there. So I don't know if there's another way we can get access to some of those resources.
Yeah, we can definitely talk about that, and we can find ways for that.
Cool.
And
Yeah, I'm gonna try to attend, and I'm trying to convince other club members right now, but we'll see.
Yeah, and if
Yeah,
you
I'll
need
try.
a ride too, like we can coordinate a ride share. This is one thing that our secretary Sarah had brought up, is that we can coordinate some ride shares because everyone, like, we're from different clubs from around the state, but we're also living in different places. So we literally have
Right.
we have people coming from every corner.
Yeah.
So if you need to get a ride from somewhere or a ride share, we can definitely do that as well.
Nice.
Awesome. And that can just be marked on an email to myself or Justin. There's no comment section on here, so yeah, just email it to myself or Justin. We'd be happy to work that out.
Okay.
Cool. So, let's make sure I'm on this right one. Yeah, so a couple of other notes that I had here. So, how can we improve our communication? Is email the best method for you all, or would you prefer text messages? I know that some people are doing Snapchat groups. I think that's the secretaries that was talking about it. What's the best way to communicate for you all? We'll start with Al.
Messenger probably is the easiest.
Okay.
My club has a Snapchat, but we don't really use it.
Yeah, so the Snapchat would be kind of like for us as presidents to talk. Are you talking about your club Snapchat, or?
I mean, I use my Snapchat to talk, so like that would be fine with me. But yeah, my club has its own Snapchat, and we don't really use it at events, but we
Okay.
try to.
Gotcha. Claudia, what's the best way for you?
Honestly, anything works. Email
Okay.
works. Text message is fine. Everything's okay.
Okay. Michaela?
Yeah, I like email. I don't check it as much in the summer, so maybe if text messaging or Snapchat. But yeah, anything really.
Okay. And then Miriam.
My emails go right to my phone, so that's the best way to talk to me through email or like Facebook Messenger, because that all just pops up right on my.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I think that I'm going to aim for definitely emails aren't going to go away. I think I'm also going to look for either a messenger group or a text message group. That's just for like quick reminders about meetings and stuff like that. So any bigger information will go across emails, but if we have something to talk about, I think text messages or Facebook Messenger might be the way to go. So be on the lookout for a poll on that. That should be going out this week. Next thing is with MRFs. So this is UW-Madison's MRF, or the part of the MRF, right? So just so that we're all aware with how the MRFs are working, because it changed from last year, and I'm sorry about the confusion that happened at the beginning of this year. So the district MRF, which is this spreadsheet-looking thing, that's due on the 3rd of each month, and the mailing list is located on the front of the MRF. So if you go to like the first tab, there's going to be a list of who it all gets sent to. Make sure to email back just the link. So the link to the spreadsheet up at the top in the URL bar, copy that and just send it back to the mailing list when you're done. So at the 3rd of each month, just send that off to us. So that way we know that you're done with it. And then there's the International MRF. Sometimes Zoe called it the stat sheet last year, which is located on the Kiwanis website through, I believe it's through Muck. That is due on the 5th of each month. If you want to get both of them done by the 3rd, awesome. If you want to get both of them done by the 1st, even better. That's when our due dates are for both of those. And these are really important to us, and I try to get back to everyone that I get within a couple of days to a week. It helps us better understand what's going on in your world, so we can see the service projects you're doing, see the fundraising that you're doing, possibly make suggestions even based off of what others are doing. It also helps us understand what we need to do. If you need any clarification on district events or procedures, all that fun jazz, MRF is a good time to give us feedback on that. You can also give out spotlights to your members. So I try to do a club spotlight every month. If you've given an MRF with a spotlight of someone in particular or a particular service project, we can get them featured in that, as well as the district bulletin when that gets going. And the last thing is with the Stick to Service project. So if you haven't taken a look at it yet, I think it actually looks kind of cool right now. So you can kind of see your club getting together with all of the fun stickers in here. So you get special ones for like MERP and Spring Fling. You get other ones for turning in your MRFs for service hours. The whole breakdown can be found on this spreadsheet here. So if you open this up, you can kind of see where you stand and why you got those service hours. So again, service is a pretty big portion of it. Every 24 hours of service you do is correlated to one sticker, as well as all of this other fun stuff. So if you want your mascot looking fun and not barren, MRFs are another great way to get stickers on your mascot. So why do stickers matter besides making yourself look cool? The top 3 clubs get their choice at some rewards. So you get the choice between 5 free registrations to Spring Fling 2020. It's next year in April. You could have a pizza party with the district board, or we have some Kiwanis family swag. So some items like, we have a ton of socks. We have so many socks for some reason. We have sunglasses. We have, oh my word, I don't even know. But there's a lot of stuff. So if you're in the top 3 clubs, again, ways you get this, it's outlined on this page. You get a chance at those things. So please, please, please be turning in your MRFs. Return that link to us every month if you can. Does anyone have any questions on MRFs or how those work?
You said that the international ones were supposed to be found in the muck?
Yeah, I have to communicate with Sarah on that. So I've actually never had to submit an international spreadsheet. The way I get it is through muck. Is that not the way that you submit it?
So when you go onto Muck, you should be registered as the president on there. And then if I remember, and if they haven't changed it from when I was president, there should only be a couple tabs that you have access to. And one should be for the international MRF. And you should just be able to click on it. And it'll pull up the sheet with like the questions you have to answer. So there shouldn't be too much cluttering muck for you, and it should be outlined unless they changed it.
I think I'm gonna have to like contact them because I didn't have any tabs all of last year either when I was president. So I'll have to see if it's just not registering with me or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that would be member services that you would reach out to for that. And unfortunately, I can't show it here because I have different privileges and I can't see the same screen you all would be seeing. But just so we're aware, this is where you would sign in to go there.
I know for our club, the secretary sees like the MRFs, but the president does not. So that might be an issue. Like since I'm the president now, I can't really see or submit the MRF, but our secretary can. So I know that's also a problem anyone else is having. But
so that was probably changed because I had access last year.
Yeah.
So they probably changed it then.
Yeah, Muck changes a lot. So it's kind of keeping up to date with what Kiwanis is doing and how they're ruining our lives this month. But that's a lie. No, they're good to work with, and member services is actually really helpful if you reach out to them. So if you're having issues with Muck, definitely reach out to member services. However, that spreadsheet I was talking about, that's really important to our district. So, and that's not through Kiwanis or anything. It really doesn't change. So just be on the lookout. Well, I hate to say focus on that, but that's the thing that we keep track of a lot for our district purposes. Does anyone else have any other questions on MRF, Muck? Okay. Yeah, so if you have questions, good resources, myself, I'll probably point you to someone else because I'm a little bit unfamiliar, but Sarah and Annika, who are secretary and treasurer, they're good resources for that. Bobby, who was our secretary last year and is now our special events chair, he's a good resource for that. Basically, if you're having issues, just reach out to us. And if you haven't submitted your MRFs in the past, excuse me, sorry, you can submit them again, like with all your information next month. So don't be afraid if you missed out that those hours are gone. You can always submit them later. We like to have them in on the 3rd of each month, but if you do miss it, please just try to get that in. It helps us. It helps us with Kiwanis, right? They want to see that we're doing work because they do a lot of stuff for us. They pay a lot of our bills. They work with us. So it helps us build this rapport with them, and it's really important to have those numbers saying, yep, we're doing service, we're doing fundraising, and we're communicating with each other. So I can't stress how important these MRFs are. Okay, so hopefully no one cheated, and if you didn't know you were cheating, I'm sorry, but does anyone know what SMART goals are? How about the S? I'll give your club a sticker if you can tell me what a SMART goal is.
I definitely cheated, but it stands for specific.
Okay. Yep, that is correct. Can we hear an M from anyone else?
Measurable.
Okay. A? Someone new, if they know?
Achievable.
Achievable or attainable, yep. R?
I'm guessing, but realistic.
Yep, and then T is for timely. So, awesome, you all got it. You know what, you all get stickers since you just showed up and you answered the goal. So, kudos to you all. So, S is for specific. Sorry. It's stating exactly what you want to accomplish. And these all, they're not mutually exclusive. They overlap each other a little bit. So, S and M, I like to think about that as like setting a specific date. So instead of saying that we will host a couple of service projects by, instead of saying we'll host a couple of service projects, saying something like we'll host 3 service projects by October 3rd. That's specific and measurable. The next thing is achievable. So is it reasonable? Can you do that with your capacity? R is for realistic, and T is for timely. So the overall idea for SMART goals are thinking about creating goals that have a purpose, not just some sort of blanket statement saying we'll get this done, but getting specific quantitative values you can go back and look on in the coming year. So right now, what I want us to do is take 3 minutes to set 3 SMART goals for yourself for this summer. That could be planning an executive board meeting. That could be going to a service project, just on your own, going to a service project. I'll leave it really open-ended and up to you, but take these next 3 minutes to set 3 SMART goals for yourself. Excuse me. Ready, set, go. Write them down, and then we'll share them at the end.
I'm sorry, I missed the instructions. What are we doing for the next 3 minutes?
Yeah, so we're setting 3 SMART goals for yourself.
Okay.
So anything for yourself or your club, set 3 SMART goals for what you want to get done for the summer.
Okay.
Awesome.
I've got all 3 of my goals.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll wait. We'll wait for everyone else though, just in case, unless everyone else is ready.
Okay.
I'm also ready.
Yeah, me too.
Dang. Okay. Well, we smashed that goal. Congratulations. All right, awesome. So what we're going to do now is just go around, and we'll start with Miriam. Did we start with you yet?
I don't think so.
Okay, we'll start with Miriam, and then we'll do the same thing and popcorn on to someone else. So would you share your 3 SMART goals, and then just popcorn on to someone else?
So my 3 goals were I want to have 2 e-board meetings this summer.
Awesome.
Of this really outdated how to be a good e-board member document that I want to get updated for September.
Awesome.
To have our first meeting planned before August.
Awesome. And if you do get that resource done, you can also share it out to other club presidents, because I know they probably want to see that as well.
Sure.
Awesome. I like those goals a lot.
I'll popcorn to Claudia.
Okay, so one of our goals is to have at least 3 members attend MERP, so including myself. Our second goal is to have an executive meeting before August 15th to finalize what we're going to do for the org fair. And then our third one is to brainstorm at least 3 new service projects by the end of fall.
Awesome. Are you thinking like new service projects you've never done before?
Yeah, there are some things that our club would be interested in doing too.
Awesome. I like it. Do you want to
And I'll pass it on to Michaela.
Michaela, you're on mute if you're there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so for my first SMART goal, I have to plan 1 executive board meeting this August just to talk about the org fair, our upcoming service projects for September and our first meeting. And then I also want to attend MERP on July 27th. I also want to attend 1 service project during this summer.
Awesome.
Or do some type of service.
Awesome. And what area are you in this summer?
I live near the Madison area.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I can imagine. I can't really talk, but I imagine there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, there's opportunity. Mm-hmm.
Cool. And then Al, I think you're the last one.
All right, my goal is to make a promotional video for Decon. I want someone in a tub filled with water being drowned, and we're gonna say submerged with service. And then the next goal is to finish my Spanish course. It finishes on July 17th. I think it's very measurable and attainable. And then my last goal was to learn how to skateboard within the next month.
Dang, that's ambitious. And then one more goal I'm going to throw in there. Do you have a goal to have an executive board meeting this summer?
I kind of have met with each of my exec board people separately, and
Okay.
I like the individual approach to getting like a well-rounded thing before meeting with them.
Okay.
But I've seen them all already, and I know what they want for the next school year.
Awesome. Are you taking it? Cool. Yeah, that's all I had. So does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns? It's almost 11 o'clock. Sure everyone's tired by now. So if you do have anything, again, reach out to myself, Justin, Lena, Jess. Anyone would be happy to answer or point you in the right direction. So thank you all for coming.
Thanks, Cole.
Yep.
Thanks, Cole. Have a good night.
You too.
Good night.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.